have a medical condition called anodontia, which means I will never have my own teeth. That's pretty wacky if you think about it. But that's not the craziest thing about my life. Ever since I was young, my parents and I were always moving. At first, I thought it was because they wanted to protect me from the awful people who mocked me. Like one day when I was 5, I was swinging in the park when 2 kids pulled my hair and called me Toothless Granny. I started crying. Mom says I'm cute. She's lying. You dumb gummy bear. Mom flew to my side in a second, and she chased the kids away. The next day, she surprised me with a set of dentures. I was thrilled. We were moving to a new place, and I was starting school soon. Finally, my life was perfect, and no one would ever know my little secret. But a few weeks later, when my parents announced we were moving again, I was not happy. I just made friends at school. I ran outside and tied myself to the tree in our backyard. If you want to take me, you'll have to take the whole tree with you. Of course, Mom untied me in 5 seconds and carried me away. And I realized for the first time that they weren't moving because of me. I drove them crazy asking them the same question for 10 hours. Why do we have to move? Why? Why? I can go on forever. I won't shut up till you tell me. Why? They always said I was too young to understand. For the next few years, we kept moving every 6 months. But when I was in 8th grade, it all finally made sense. We just had moved and I couldn't find my dentures. So I went to look for them in my parents' bedroom. That's when I saw a light flashing from behind the giant painting on the wall. As I moved in, I was shocked by what I saw. A secret room? When I walked in, I saw cool gadgets mounted on the wall and huge monitors everywhere. I opened a folder lying on the table, and I stared at it, dumbstruck. It was filled with pictures of my parents, but they had different names. There was only one crazy but reasonable explanation for all this. My mom and dad were spies. That explained everything. I knew I had to keep this a secret, but I couldn't resist taking some gadgets with me. Binoculars, HD cameras, a telescope. I was in geek paradise. The next day, I was sitting on the bleachers when I spotted Robbie, the hunky football captain, walk onto the ground for practice. All the girls were crazy about him, and he knew it. As soon as some giggling cheerleaders gathered to watch, he took his shirt off. Well, I didn't need to get closer when I had high-powered binoculars. As I was busy drooling over his perfect abs, someone nudged me in the ribs. It was Robbie's awful twin sister, Natasha. Ugh, loser. I know my brother looks like a Greek god, but seriously, get a life. And some self-respect. He's never going to look at you with that face of yours. I was watching birds, not... She walked off before I could even finish. Ugh, what a witch. And what was wrong with my face? I could have Robbie if I wanted. I just had to get close to him before someone else beat me to it. But the very next day, I saw something that broke my heart. Robbie was kissing some girl. I was totally crushed. But a few days later, I caught him making out with another girl. How many people was he dating? I decided to spy on him for a little while longer and discovered that Robbie was dating more than half the class. I couldn't believe I had a crush on this 100-timing jerk. But since I was a sucker for justice, it was my duty to tell everyone about this creep. So I sent anonymous messages to everyone he was dating with proof of his cheating. The next day, Robbie was dumped by 15 people at lunch. I can't believe I was dating a jerk like you! Go kiss your own reflection, Robbie! It felt so awesome to help good people and expose the bad ones. And that gave me a brilliant idea. I set up a website where people could reach out to me with their problems, and I'd help them. Anonymously, of course. With my newfound spying talents, I exposed a bunch of bullies, cheaters, thieves, and gold diggers. And pretty soon, I became a secret hero. Everyone in school was curious about my identity, and I came to be known as The Catcher. As I was going through my long list of requests one day, I was really shocked to see one from Natasha. She said she was secretly dating a new boy, and she thought he was cheating on her. She sounded so heartbroken, I just had to help her. The next day, I followed her boyfriend, Jack, to a restaurant. But I suddenly bumped into someone, and when I looked up, he vanished into thin air. Where'd he go? Suddenly, I heard a voice behind me. Who are you and why are you following me? Also, you're not very good at it. I stared at him stupidly for a few seconds. Wow, this boy was gorgeous up close and smart. Okay, you caught me. Your girlfriend asked me to follow you. You're lying, because I don't have a girlfriend. What? Aren't you dating Natasha? No way. She keeps asking me out, but I'm not interested. Natasha was such a liar. I texted her and told her I wasn't doing the job for her. My dad is a cop, you know. I can find your identity in seconds. Whatever. I wasn't going to fall for her stupid bluff. The next day when I entered school, I saw something all over the walls that made my heart stop. They were pictures of me with my dentures off, with "Toothless Freak" written on them. Someone took them while I was cleaning my dentures in the washroom after lunch, and they